Good morning, Dr. Fred. Tuesday morning transformation, and we are in my house. Check out the Christmas tree. Notice fireplace. Getting ready for the holidays. I have a metaphor we're going to go through today that's going to be very exciting. It's going to totally expand your consciousness on who you are, how you live your life, and how you fulfill your soul purpose. By the way, there's a big old windstorm out there. That's why we're inside. So check this out. The topic of today is the place where you're at now is a reference point. It's not your residence. So what's that mean? So we're spiritual beings first. We know that, right? So we live in the spirit world. We're infinite beings. We come in, boom, you're born. Look at this life, man. We go through these series of events, and then eventually we pass out of the physical body. We go back into infinite land, right? Back into the universe, back as a spirit. And this is a breath of time. Got it? So who are we? We're not this right here. This is not our identity. We're actually spirit. Our identity is this end, and as we go through here, but here's the problem. We go through life, because life is a soul on a journey. We're a spiritual being having a human experience, right? So as we're in this human body, man, all these things happen, we have pain along our soul purpose. By the way, we only have this much time to fulfill our soul purpose, so we better get busy, don't you think? We have pain right here, but life keeps moving, and then we keep looking back, man, that was pain. We hold on to that pain, right? So it becomes a reference point, but if we don't move past it, it becomes resonance. And so what happens? Then we go on, we get another pain. Oh my God, there's another relationship. Oh my God, there's financial stress, or maybe divorce, or who knows what somebody stole from me. I was violated. Here's all these things. Then we develop the belief system that we are who we are because of what we've been through. Has anybody ever said that to themselves? Because when you say that, and when that's your belief system, these experiences become a place of residence. You may think it's a reference point, but if you haven't gotten rid of it, now you keep referring back to it, which means it's become a residence, which means you're trying to move towards your future, but you keep replaying the past. Why? Because you keep looking back here and saying what you don't want. It still becomes a focus point. When in reality, the journey of a soul, having a human experience, is understanding that each event helps move us toward our soul purpose in this very brief time. So here's 4 beliefs, 4 subconscious beliefs that help you. Number 1, we're a spiritual being first. What's that mean? This is my identity. Here's my identity, and we're passing through this to create something in the physical world. See this? This is physical. That's like us, right? This is physical. So we come into this body, we have these experiences because we know that purpose we want to fill subconsciously through here. Spiritual being first. Number 1, the universe has intention. We came into this body with an intention. We came in knowing we were going to have to go through this in advance, but we forgot. And so as you go through it, you may establish that as your identity. What's the third one? Everything that happens along this timeline, in this human, physical, emotional experience, has intention that's moving us toward that soul purpose throughout our life. What's the fourth one? We will fulfill that soul purpose. So 1, we're spiritual being first. 2, universe has intention. Everything in our life is moving us toward this. We learn from every experience. It's not a residence, it's only a reference point. And we will fulfill it by the time we get here. So what's that mean? What's a reference point? The reference point is only where you're at right now. Anything in the past is no longer a reference. If you refer to the past, then it's become a residence. When it becomes a residence, when you reside there, then you keep recreating past events in your present and in your future. So if every moment is a new moment, then we can decide what do we want to create now. When we know that only this moment is a reference point, then we begin to ask ourselves a really important question. What's possible? When we open up to what's possible, because the only reference point is right now, then we can create what some people call miracles. Why? Because all I can do is just say, right now, here's where I'm at. Everything in my consciousness got me to this point, and I can decide what that next moment is. So there's two powerful questions. Ready for this? To ask yourself every day. Number one, who am I? Well, let me help you with a little bit of that answer. I'm this being that comes through the human experience that goes off like that. That's who we are. Okay, number two, how do we want to represent ourselves to the universe? What's that mean? Number one, I'm a spiritual being. I can decide right now, if this now moment is my only reference point, then I can decide how I want to present myself through this timeline. And that is an empowered state where we have choice. And that makes change or improvement, whatever we want to do, or asking ourselves what's possible, that opens us up to miracles. So there are points along this timeline where we may feel like we're walking through the valley, but it says you walk through the valley. You don't build a house in it. Why? Because it's only a reference point for right now. It's not a place of residence. So two questions. Who am I? Spiritual divine being with all the power and connection in the universe. And how do I want to represent myself? I want to live in joy and power and say, in this moment, I have the power and the ability to make any choice that moves me along my soul purpose. By the way, I'm going to be 57 here, coming up in 2 months. Shit, I'm right around here somewhere, man. We got to get busy. You know what I mean? If this is our timeline, wow, all of a sudden we move along here pretty fast. We need to get busy, fulfill your soul purpose, because we need to change. We need to help other people gain consciousness of themselves and make an impression and an impact in as many lives as possible. I'll see you next week.